Once upon a time, in Pennsylvania, there was a little girl with big dreams. Her name was Taylor Swift. She grew up on a Christmas tree farm. Can you believe that? It sounds like a movie, but this was her real life. And in this real life, she found her love for music. She loved to sing. She loved to write stories. She saw the world in songs. Taylor listened to country music stars like Shania Twain and the Dixie Chicks. She thought, I can do that. And you know what? She was right. She had a fire inside her, a passion that couldn't be ignored. It was the start of something incredible. Taylor didn't just dream about it, she worked for it. At a very young age, she picked up a guitar. Her fingers were small, but her determination was huge. She started writing her own songs. These weren't just simple rhymes, they were stories about her life. Stories about her feelings, her friends, and the things she saw. It was like she was writing in a diary but with melodies. She poured her heart into every single word. She practiced and practiced. She knew that talent was one thing, but hard work was everything. This little girl from a Christmas tree farm was getting ready to take on the world. Her family saw this spark in her, they saw her passion, and they supported her completely. Her mom, Andrea, and her dad, Scott, were her biggest fans. They believed in her when no one else did. They drove her to singing lessons, they took her to local fairs and karaoke contests. Anywhere she could perform, they were there. This kind of support is so important. It gives you the courage to keep going. It tells you that your dreams are valid. Taylor's family gave her that gift. They were the first members of her team and they were the most important. Imagine being a kid and having that kind of backup. It's amazing. Her family's belief in her was a powerful thing. It wasn't just about driving her to gigs, it was about creating an environment where she could be creative and fearless. They listened to her new songs, they cheered her on at every small performance, they helped her believe in herself. This foundation of love and support was the launching pad for everything that came next. It shows you that behind every big star there's often a family that helped them shine, and Taylor's family was her rock from the very beginning. When Taylor was just a teenager, she knew where she needed to be, Nashville, Tennessee, the heart of country music. So she and her mom went on a trip. They had a bunch of demo tapes. These were CDs with Taylor's songs on them. She walked up and down Music Row, knocking on the doors of record labels. Can you picture that? A young girl full of hope, handing out her music. She was so brave. But Nashville wasn't ready for her just yet. Every label said no. They told her she was too young. They said everyone else was already doing what she was doing. Rejection is hard, it hurts. It can make you want to give up. Taylor faced a lot of it. Imagine hearing no over and over again. It would be easy to think, maybe they're right. But Taylor didn't do that. She took that rejection and used it as fuel. She went back home and decided she needed to be different. She needed to stand out. So she focused even more on her songwriting. She knew that her unique stories, told in her own voice, were her secret weapon. She didn't let the closed doors stop her. She just decided to build her own door. And that is a powerful lesson for all of us. Her family saw her determination. They saw that this wasn't just a hobby, this was her destiny. So they made a huge decision, a life-changing decision. The entire family decided to move to Hendersonville, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. Think about that. They left their home, their friends, everything they knew, all to support their daughter's dream. This wasn't just a small sacrifice, it was a massive leap of faith. It was the ultimate way of saying we believe in you 100%. This move put Taylor right where she needed to be, surrounded by the music industry. This move was the turning point. It showed Taylor that her family was all in. It gave her the confidence to keep pushing. Now, she wasn't just a visitor in Nashville, she was a resident. She could go to writers' nights. She could meet other musicians. She could immerse herself in the culture of country music. Her parents' sacrifice gave her an incredible opportunity. It's a beautiful story of what family can do. They didn't just support her dream from a distance. They packed up their lives and moved right into the heart of it with her. And that made all the difference. Living near Nashville paid off. Taylor started performing at a place called the Bluebird Cafe. It's a famous spot where songwriters share their music. One night, a record executive named Scott Borchetta was in the audience. He saw Taylor perform, he saw her talent, he saw her connection with the audience, and he knew he had found something special. He was starting his own record label, Big Machine Records, and he wanted Taylor Swift to be his first artist. This was it. This was the moment she had been working for. The door was finally opening. Her first album, Taylor Swift, came out in 2006. It was a huge hit. Songs like Tim McGraw and Teardrops on My Guitar were all over the radio. People loved her music because it was real. She was writing about her own life as a teenager. She wrote about crushes and heartbreaks, and everyone could relate to that. She wasn't singing about things she didn't know. She was singing her truth. This honesty made her stand out. She soon became a country music superstar, winning awards and selling millions of albums. Her dream was becoming a reality, right before our eyes. Then came her second album, Fearless. And wow, did it take her to another level. This album was massive. It had huge hits like Love Story and You Belong With Me. These songs were everywhere. Fearless won the Grammy Award for Album of the Year. This was a huge deal. She was one of the youngest artists ever to win that award. It proved that she wasn't just a teenage sensation. She was a serious artist, a powerful songwriter. She was here to stay. This was the moment the whole world really started to pay attention. What I love about Taylor is how she connects with her fans. She calls them her Swifties. She would spend hours after her shows meeting them. She used social media to talk to them directly. She made them feel seen and heard. This wasn't just a marketing trick, it was genuine. She understood that her fans were the reason for her success. She built a community, a friendship. This bond between Taylor and her fans is one of the strongest in all of music. It's a special relationship built on respect, love, and shared stories. And it's a huge part of her journey. As Taylor grew, so did her music. She started to experiment with new sounds. She didn't want to stay in one box. Her album Red had hints of pop music. Then, with her album 1989, she made the full switch. She left country music behind and became a pop superstar. This was a brave move. Some people were skeptical, but Taylor followed her heart, and it was a huge success. The album was full of #1 hits like Shake It Off and Blank Space. She proved that she could conquer any genre of music she wanted to. Her success went global. She was no longer just a star in America. She was a worldwide phenomenon. She sold out stadiums all over the globe, from Tokyo to London to Sydney. Everyone knew her name, everyone knew her songs. Her ability to change and adapt is incredible. She never stays the same. She is always evolving as an artist. She writes about her life, and as her life changes, her music changes with it. This is what makes her so interesting. You never know what she's going to do next, but you know it's going to be amazing. What's truly at the heart of her success is her songwriting. She is a master storyteller. She can take a small, personal moment and turn it into a universal feeling. She writes with such detail and emotion that you feel like you were right there with her. And she is a brilliant business person. She understands the music industry. She knows her worth. She stands up for herself and for other artists. She is not afraid to use her voice to fight for what is right. She is smart, she is savvy, and she is in control of her own career. In the end, Taylor Swift's story is one of inspiration. It's about a girl from a Christmas tree farm who had a dream and worked incredibly hard to make it come true. She faced rejection, but she never gave up. She had the support of her family, and she built a connection with her fans. She is a reminder that you should never be afraid to be yourself. You should never be afraid to change and grow. Her journey teaches us to be fearless, to write our own stories, and to never, ever let anyone dim our shine. And that is a message we can all learn from.